game where they blew a 20-point lead in the second half with 2 timeouts in his pocket. And anytime you have a loss like that, where there's a 20-point differential like that, where you lose it, even if it was great plays from the Nuggets down the stretch, and even if it was a brilliant shot, someone's going to get their finger pointed at him, and Anthony Davis pointed it right at Darvin Ham. And that is basically, as you said, Legs, that is taking public what have been some clear private tensions. And that's what happens when you have a game like this. It happens to the best teams in the league. I don't care if you've got the smoothest running organization. When you have a frustrating situation like that, especially with high stakes, it tends to reveal certain things. And that's what happened here. Darvin, basically, he was a little bit softer, but he basically gave it right back to AD. This was 2 guys kind of throwing mud at each other publicly in a playoff series, and it's not a sign of a functioning and smooth-running organization. Now, let me just say, the reason AD is probably upset is because when the Nuggets made the lineup change and they put Aaron Gordon on him, there wasn't a move to go get him shots. The man had made 14 consecutive shots in that game. They completely went away from him. Denver took him out of the game with just a basic maneuver. And when you don't get shots, and there's timeouts sitting there on the board, I can kind of get that frustration. That doesn't mean that you go public with it. The other thing is that Darvin Ham, he has got a challenge with him that is probably not pointed out enough, which is that he doesn't have that many two-way players, especially on the perimeter. You know, D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves are not good defensive players. So he's scrambling a lot of times with his lineups and who he arranges to try to get his team to defend. The Lakers are not a good defensive team. They are a worse defensive team this year than they were last year, and he's scrambling to figure that out. But it is not good in the middle of a fight, which they are right now, where you've got the star player and the coach going back and forth with microphones, and that's exactly what we got here.
Well, let me tell you this.
Let's do this song, everybody.
First of all,
I'm going to get on off.
Darvin Ham hasn't lost anybody but the Denver Nuggets.
Come on, you want to feel some Jesus?
Second year.
This is the song right here.
To the conference finals last year when nobody saw that coming. Certainly put himself in a
come
position
on now.
to face Denver in the first round this year because they could have had a more successful season. But they did have injuries. Vanderbilt was available.
You know your name, everybody.
Showed up and played in the first half of the season, maybe. Austin Reeves looking at his development. And then he's tailed us a little bit. We can take those things into consideration as well. But I'm thinking about Chris Gent, his lead assistant, who obviously has a very good resume as an assistant coach. Don't talk to me about Phil Handy. Everywhere he's been as an assistant, they've won championships. In terms of player development and what he's been able to do, okay, not just in Cleveland, not just in Toronto, but in the bubble with the Lakers, okay? You don't talk to me about a lack of preparation when you go to final 17 minutes without scoring a point. Come on, man. I mean, Anthony Davis, I don't give a damn what was lacking. I don't give a damn what little alteration Mike Moore made or what, or whatever. I'm just saying, I'm Mike Malone, I'm sorry. I don't care. At the end of the day, when you're that great, you don't have an excuse to point the finger in a different direction when you go to final 17 minutes of a pivotal game 2 when you got a 20-point lead and you don't score a single point. Not a single point.
One last comment on this, because this something when he said triggered this in my mind. No star player in the history of this league has ever had a viable excuse that they didn't get the ball. I'm sorry. Guys that talented, they find a way to get the ball. There's no excuse for that. First of all, you're a magnet for the ball because role players want to get the ball to those 2 guys. So naturally, the ball's going to gravitate towards you, particularly when you got it rolling. So I just don't think that's ever. You don't hear great players historically talk about, well, I just didn't get the ball tonight. That's just not a viable excuse because the ball funneled to you. That's the way offenses are set up. And you've got LeBron James on the court, the greatest orchestrator of offense this league's ever seen, directing it. That's not an excuse for Anthony Davis to act like they didn't run anything for me or they didn't put me in position. Man, stop that. You're 6'11", athletic with a great jump shot. Go get the basketball. You and LeBron can figure out a way to put it in your hands.
Yeah.
Brian Windhorst, great. I caught my second win thanks to you, buddy. Awesome.
I'm just testing. I want to thank everybody for watching.
What's up, guys?